Swap scene right now. Swap scene right now. Alright, go ahead, Ali. Alright, go ahead, Ali.
So, are we live?
So,
Are we live? Alright,
one sec,
we
guys.
are
You
good.
gotta mute runner streams first.
Should be good. They've been muted.
are we good?
Should be good to go, Ali.
Alright, so, yeah, so this is, Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin Any Percent Tournament, match 7, I believe. Between, Baffy and Nick. Obviously, both of them are hoping to advance to the round 3, whoever wins this match. And, yeah. Yeah, do you want to introduce yourself, Delete?
So yeah, X runner. I ran about a year and a half ago, so I'm just here to help out, do the commentary and the stream. So pretty much ready to go whenever. I'll get you to do the countdown, Ali,
Yeah,
and the runners
so
are
I'll
ready.
give the lovely countdown for this race. So 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so yeah, so this is what would be called, I guess, the Full Rotten route, which was it's more known as an older route in the original game, but in Scholar it's still the main route because of the 17k and everything in first game, where you kill Rotten 5 times in the vanilla. But you don't do that in this run because you can't go into the DLC.
Yeah, I
So
don't think
the
anyone's
main
crazy enough to do 17k
yeah,
on Scholar just yet.
I think TSU is doing it.
Just TSU for now.
Yeah, so basically the main premise of this run is that at around the halfway point of the game, there's an area called the Shrine of Winter, and you need to basically advance past there in order to enter the second half of the game. But the only ways you can get past the shrine is if you either collect 1 million souls or you collect the Great Souls. And it turns out that collecting 1 million souls is actually quite a bit faster than the other route.
Yep. Both runners going for cart soul to start off, which is pretty basic strat that we started doing a few months ago now. It saves, I think, 2 or 3 seconds.
Yeah, it's obviously the best strat in the route at the moment.
I wish more people would attain Jeff Jump, but we'll see one day.
I know, man. But yeah, the way they're gonna get 1 million souls is they're gonna collect these items called bonfire ascetics, which basically, when you use it at a bonfire, it basically resets the area you're at to the new game plus version of whatever new game state you're on, which also means you'll get the souls that you would get from that new game plus state. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna do that for the Rotten boss fight later and fight him a couple of times for the souls he gives.
Basically, if you're running this category like vanilla, you gotta get used to killing a lot of rottens.
Yeah. And it's kind of annoying because it's also he's one of the most annoying bosses in this game if you want to go fast.
Yeah, he can be with some of the worst RNG possible.
Yeah.
Nick going with his patented female character, from what I can see.
Yeah, and the time save from Cart Soul comes through with that jump, I believe. So yeah, they're just running through the forest of fallen giants. They're gonna make their way to Melentia to buy some firebomb, and then they're gonna make their way to the last giant, which is basically the first boss of the game.
Don't think either of them are planning on going for a gene drop, but you never know.
It would be very interesting.
I couldn't put anything past Nick.
Yeah, there's basically a drop you can do to skip the elevator that takes you down to the last giant, and it saves quite a few seconds, but it's very inconsistent to say the least. But maybe Nick will be crazy enough though. so Baffy's gonna do a glitch, which I guess we would call bomb wall. And basically there's barrels behind the wall, and if you throw a firebomb at them, they explode. And turns out if you throw it at the wall, it actually will trigger them, just as if you threw it at them normally. So obviously it breaks down the wall, which saves around maybe 20 seconds from having to do the normal run around. Ah, Nick didn't go for it. So yeah, we'll see how this fight goes for Nick here.
Nick's about to enter his first fight. Bathy's
Yeah.
not too far behind, a few seconds.
Yeah, it's quite a technical fight, I suppose.
It's a very
Since it doesn't
basic
have-
fight, but it's got a very consistent setup for the most part.
Ah, that was a pretty clean fight for Nick. Oh well, almost.
Solid fight overall. Bathy should be done in 3 hits here. An extra one for good measure.
Ooh. He should still be fine with the dark sign. Yeah,
Yeah, he's
just barely.
both good.
So yeah, Nick just bought what we call Bright Bug, which is one of the most OP items in the game. It basically increases your attack power and defense by 50%, so it's quite good. And he also talked to him.
And I think Bathy lost his souls actually.
Oh no, that's actually quite bad. Yeah. Not sure what he's gonna do.
I actually am not even sure what the backup for that would be.
I mean, I guess you could always kill Dragon Rider or something.
That's, yeah, that is an interesting one.
Yeah, one of the problems with this game is that because there's no dupe glitch or anything, once you lose your souls, they are permanently gone forever. This race just become very interesting
Yeah,
then.
this is going to be very interesting to see what Bathy can try and do. Also missing the Pursuer.
And what I was about to mention before is that Nick talked to Melentia to get the covetous Gold Serpent Ring, or Silver Serpent Ring, which gives you 20% extra souls from enemies you kill. It's like Baffy is not going back into the game.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what Bathy's doing here. Although I'd be in the same boat as well. I have no idea where
Yeah.
I'd go from here, to be honest.
There's not really much you can do optimally, I suppose.
I think Dragon Rider cheesing might be one of your best options at that point, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, it's the option that would take the least time, but
Yeah.
still a big time loss.
And maybe Bathy was just trying to figure out some sort of backup here. Nick pausing as well. Maybe they're considering doing a restart.
Yeah,
so
looks like
let's
they're
check
gonna
here.
do a restart.
Yeah, we're gonna do a restart here.
Yeah, so if the runners, I guess this is up to the runners. If you feel like you really want to restart, I guess Nick is the one on the receiving end here.
What happened to Beffy?
He dark signed too
He
late on
dark
last
signed
giant.
late on last
Yeah.
giant, then messed
Nah,
up.
man, restarting.
You sure?
You
You
yeah,
sure?
man.
Okay.
No, you cannot run without the souls, dude. No, it's
Yeah.
not a race.
Oh. Well, thanks, dude.
Right.
No, no
Appreciate
worries.
the sportsmanship.
Yeah.
We'll be
If I do
drinking
that again,
another-
then I'll take my lumps and forfeit.
No, dude, you cannot race without the last giant souls. There is no way, man.
Yeah. Took an extra swing.
All right.
Yeah,
so
buddy.
when you guys are ready to go, you can just do the countdown again, and we'll try another one. You can reset the timer, delete. It's still running.
Yep.
I'll let you do the countdown this time, delete.
All right. Guys, let me know when you guys are ready.
Yeah, just make me sure that everything is fine.
Yep.
Yeah, I will be muting, and
Awesome.
you guys can handle, I guess.
Good luck again. Bathy's ready to go. Alright, awesome. So we'll go on go. So you guys ready then? Alright, 3, 2, 1, go.
Alright, so take two.
My late timer. She finally gone. I can sure try. Alright, so we've got a restart here just because we had some unfortunate circumstances there for Bathy. So we've got the new run started. Bathy opting to take out the cart himself.
Yeah.
Nick again running with the patented female character.
It's the guaranteed way to get victory in this game.
Our timer is a few seconds behind. That would be my fault there. Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's only by about 2 seconds or so. Yeah, so we'll hope that neither runner dark signs out too late this time.
Yep. That's definitely one of the run spots where you really don't have a choice but to restart.
Yeah, because as I mentioned before, because in the other Souls games like Dark Souls 1, if you lose your souls, you can just dupe them back, but can't do that in this game, unfortunately.
Yeah, there's not really an option there, and to run out of your way to go do the Dragon Rider cheese for extra souls, I couldn't give you an actual time, but I'm sure it would cost you at least 5 minutes.
Yeah, definitely something like that. Yeah, I mean, in any normal context, it would be run over, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially with something that early. Nick being a good sport here, letting them restart the race, so props to Nick.
Yeah, it's a good show of sportsmanship. Also, one thing that really is confusing is who decided to do the enemy placements in Scholar. They put a lot of the enemies in really weird places, in my opinion.
think that was the whole design around Scholar, was
Yeah,
how badly
I
can we
know.
annoy you.
I know. But I think they went a bit over the top in some places.
So hopefully they can both get the firebomb wall here without any issues. Nick setting
Yeah,
up, should be good for his.
it's a little more precise in Scholar, isn't it? To bomb wall, I think.
Not the greatest with vanilla runs to say the least, but I find it's pretty, it's honestly pretty easy. The only problem is if you have what just happened to Bathy, which
Yeah.
is the hollows not playing along.
Yeah, he got it twice in a row now.
Should still be fine to recover here, he's just going to lose a bit of time. I was going to say he might opt to just kill himself there and take the bonfire, but...
Oh, that's not good.
Fortunately, Bathy missing the bomb, so he's going to have to take the long way back down, and these hollows are not playing along right now.
Oh.
Nick
Yeah,
just entering Last Giant.
Yeah, the early game really doesn't like Baffy today.
The early game, I've always said the first 11 minutes of this run really doesn't like anybody.
Yeah, it's fair enough. So yeah, unfortunately Baffy's gonna have to go for the intended route now.
Yeah. So we'll lose a lot of time here, but not the end of the world. I believe we've had a couple runners in this tournament so far, actually, that have had to take the intended route, so...
Yeah, it happens sometimes.
Nick is good there on his souls.
Yeah. So yeah, he's gonna buy the Bright Bugs, Leningrad's key, and then he's gonna send her back to Majula, I think. Or is he just gonna get the ring? Baffy got memed to the hog gate as well.
Bathy's not having the funnest early game. Should still be alright here overall, though. He's going to open up the door shortcut, so he's got a quick way back down. And as long as he doesn't miss his souls here on Last Giant, he should still be fine.
Yeah, it's just bad time lost, but it's not
Definitely.
a run ending.
Nick could always miss Pursuer Skip. Of course he doesn't, though.
The jinx didn't work this time.
Nick will be warping back to Majula in a second here to grab his rapier and his +3 upgrade.
Yeah, he bought the key from Melentia so he could unlock the blacksmith's door. And then he's going to obviously buy the rapier, which will be the weapon that he's going to use for most of the run. He's going to upgrade it to +3.
Bathy is good on his souls this time, so the run will continue.
Yeah, so we're basically back up to speed now.
Yeah, we're back where we started at this point. So Nick's gonna pop his soul here and talk to the blacksmith, buy his rapier and the mace. Mace will be used at certain points in the run to kill crystal lizards for more upgrade materials.
Yeah, and you saw him use the soul while talking to the blacksmith. It's a nice little trick. If you press, well, A or X, and then you press the button to use the soul, you can use it while you're interacting with the NPC, which is a nice little time save.
Nice time save for sure.
Yeah, he's gonna buy the catch ring and homeward bones and some alluring skulls.
I believe
And
Nick
the
tends to go for the 10 homeward bones just to save a second on his inputs. Or the skulls, sorry.
the optimization. But yeah, the catch ring is really necessary because full damage in Dark Souls 2 is, let's just say, pretty bad without it.
It can be pretty savage. Bathy hitting the Pursuer skip this time, so he will be good to hit Majula. Nick's drop looking good so far. I'm feeling a Jeff jump in Nick's future.
We can only hope.
Everybody's in for a treat if so. I take it back.
I didn't know he was going to grab the bonfire. Or maybe that is why he's grabbing the bonfire.
Could be. Could be. Definitely going to be playing a few safer bonfires in this run for both runners, just to keep the runs alive. And, he got me. He got me.
Looked like he was going to then for a second.
He played me on it. That's fair.
Yeah, there's a cool jump you can do to the bridge there, but it's not the easiest jump in the world. Also, both runners killed Morlin so they could get the Cheld's Door set, which when you wear it, you basically get extra souls from
So you
enemies
get
you kill.
any increased souls, so you'll see after all the boss fights, pretty much up until Drang Lake, they will be equipping the set right after the fight. And then once they reach Drang Lake, they don't really need the souls anymore, so they've got no reason to throw the set on anymore.
Yeah, and they're using it in combination with the Silver Serpent's Ring, which also gives extra souls. And with the route they're doing, they'll end up with a million souls.
You'll see
the bosses they kill.
See a difference in Bathy's buys there from the cat as opposed to Nick's. Some runners will opt to buy the 10 skulls to save inputs. Bathy ended up going for 6 and 6, I believe. The 10 skulls isn't needed by any means, but it does save a second or two on the input.
Yeah, so now it's the first of what's going to be 4 rotten fights for Nick.
As long as Bathy can get through these, this gutter drop and everything properly, we should have a decent run on our hands here, though. Bathy also opting for the bonfire, I believe.
Yeah.
Can never be too safe down here.
Yeah, but you do lose a couple of minutes if you die, so it is understandable.
Also, if you do miss the drop, I believe more than twice, you actually can't continue to make that drop down the gutter, so that bonfire is fairly smart to take in a race.
Yeah, there's a pretty tricky backup you can do, but it's not that easy. This is a pretty decent rotten fight.
Decent fight for Nick there.
Yeah, he'll be back.
And Bathy making both the jumps, so he should be fine here, as long as he doesn't get a zoom boost off this edge, which has happened to me a handful of times. Nick's setting up for a 24-23. The level ups there do differ between runners and if you're using RTSR or not. So some people will opt for 33 or 34 decks. Nick, not one of those people.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he goes for RTSR, right?
Yeah, I believe Nick will be running RTSR for sure.
I think Bathy might as well, probably.
I think Bathy will probably have to take some risks a little later in this run if he wants to try and keep it competitive. So I would not be surprised if he went RTSR as well. Nick obviously being one of the best runners for this category for a long time here. Bathy more known for, I believe, his all bosses runs, so definitely no slouch when it comes to this game.
Yeah, Baffy runs a lot of all bosses in the vanilla Dark Souls 2, and of course Nick's been running Scholar for like forever, basically.
Nick diverging in a little bit of vanilla as well, but I think that's where Bathy's king.
So yeah, Baffy's fighting Rotten right now. It's not going too badly from the looks of it.
And that AoE attack just isn't nice.
Yeah, especially if you're behind Rotten, because it has a pretty big radius there.
Overall, still a decent fight though. Bathy is good to go for this run. Let's see if Nick's gonna opt for RTSR here. I'm almost 100% positive off his level ups that he is going to go for it. But I've been wrong before. Oh, and he...
Yeah.
Wow,
Oh.
okay. No early RTSR for Nick.
That is interesting.
I guess both runners deciding to play it safe. We'll see if Bathy opts for it or not. Bathy also going for the 24-23. So again, preference in runners. I guess some runners do like the 24-23, some like the 33 decks.
Yeah, you saw Nick buy some Gold Pine Resins, which is a lightning buff for weapons in this game, which is going to be used throughout the run, as well as the Claymore, I believe.
Yeah, he bought the Claymore for the Congregation fight. We found that it's just a lot faster than using the Mace. Both runners are going to have pretty much an exact amount of Gold Pine Resins as well, so it's one of those tight runs as far as that goes. You can't be wasting them.
Yeah, Nick got the Clone Fee Ring, which increases stamina regeneration.
Nick will be entering his, well, I would say one of the most annoying boss fights in the game for me personally, which is Najka. She either plays along properly or she ruins your run.
Yeah, with Najka, you can have like a perfect fight, and then you can have a fight where it just goes bottoms up.
Especially if you're running RTSR, you're setting yourself up for a RNG fight here. She either gives you 2 of the good attacks that she has, or she gives you one of the like 5 bad ones she has. Both running no RTSR, so they should be fine. If they do get a bad attack offer to start, just be time loss at that point. Let's see what Nick gets to work with. So actually getting the best attack that she has to start. Followed by the... Okay, well, Nick is very blessed today.
That's pretty much exactly what you want.
That is, to a T, that's exactly what you want for an Ashka fight. See Nick unequipping the armor after that fight really fast, just so he can save his stamina. Get a little extra, it slows you down because it's heavy armor. Bathy gonna purchase the Gold Pine Resins and the Claymore here as well. I believe Bathy, everyone goes with the Claymore at this point. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just too good for Congregation.
It just makes the fight so much easier too. So we can all pray for Bathy RNG here on Noshka as well. Also hope for no memes for both the runners here with the lizards.
Yeah, these lizards will disappear if you let them run away, and you need the resources they drop. So, yeah, gotta kill them quickly.
Nick opting for the first bonfire in Brightstone as well. That's a smart play for sure. Congregations is a fight that can really just kill your run over and over and over again.
Yeah, it's in my opinion one of the most spooky fights if you have RTSR, but
I would have to
he
agree
sh-
100%.
yeah, he should be fine though, I think. I don't think the damage decrease is going to be that bad.
Yeah, it shouldn't be too bad. We'll see what Bathy gets here with Najka RNG. Bathy getting the second
Nice.
best attack. And then the best attack. So Bathy and Nick getting pretty good RNG for the Najka fights. Bathy should be able to finish here with 5 R1s. And that's an easy fight. Nick entering congregations here. Not getting the damage proc on the last congregation, but still went well. And now you'll see what the Claymore is used for this run. And it's basically just for trying to stack up and get, 2 to 4 hits on the hollows here. Or 2 to 4 at a time, I should say. Not the best grouping there for Nick, but not bad at all.
Nice.
I'm not sure how optimal the Claymore actually is for that fight without RTSR, but I can imagine it's still better than the Mace.
Yeah, it's way more comfy anyway, I would say.
Yeah, Nick also opting to grab the bonfire there in case he misses any of the upcoming crystal lizards.
Yeah, now he's just going to be grabbing some things he needs. Killing some lizards.
So there's one tricky lizard coming up for Nick here. And it'll basically be as soon as he comes out of this second door. This is kind of the lizard that causes the most resets for new runners, I would say. Not a problem for Nick, though.
Nice.
And he should go for the boost here. And actually missing it, but not any couple seconds or second time loss there. Good animation cancel there on the skull for Nick, and he's out.
That was a pretty clean segment.
So with all the upgrade materials and everything that Nick's picked up now, he's going to be able to upgrade his rapier.
Yeah, he's just going to get a super OP rapier, and that's what he's going to use for the rest of the run.
That'll be used for a majority of the run. I'm not sure if Nick's a key user at all, but can get into that later in the run. Bathy going for his congregation fight now. Not getting the damage on the first congregation, that could be a problem, and it is going to buff. Ooh. And overall, Bathy should be good here. Let's see if Nick will go for the jump. And he is going to go for the door skip. Ooh, and hits it.
Nice.
Very clean.
Yeah, so that saves about 5 seconds or so. It's not the hardest jump, but it can be a bit finicky sometimes.
It's really not that risky of a jump too, but if you hit it at the wrong angle, you can, a lot of the time you'll die on the second jump. The first jump up on the ledge isn't really a problem, and then jumping from the ledge to the other one is where a lot of runners will botch it.
And now he's going to go take on the Ruined Sentinels. But he should just basically destroy them with his stats.
Yeah, Ruined Sentinels are one of the, I'd say probably one of the favorite fights for the run because you just obliterate them.
Yeah, must be a great confidence boost.
I'm so good at this game.
Yeah, and then you do the Rotten Spree and everything goes to hell.
See if Bathy can hit his lizard here as well. Let's hope for no memes. Bathy opting for the more of a setup approach at it. Let's see if he goes for the jetpack, and he does not as well. Nick having some troublesome fight here. But recovered it nicely. And Bathy is out as well with a clean segment.
Yeah, both runners having clean segments there.
That was a scary fight for Nick on the Sentinels, but he managed to get through it.
Yeah, now Nick's just going to go grab the last bonfire skeptic he needs for the rotten fights.
Nick also opting to use the old route. Actually, there was a new way to do the ending here for Bastille. I believe it was discovered by Jeff the Big Lizard, but I cannot confirm that, but it saves a good amount of seconds there.
Is that the one where you take the elevator?
Yes.
Oh yeah, it was Jeff that found that.
So we'll see if Bathy goes for that as well. It's not really a scary setup. It's not too risky. Bathy opting out of door skip, just trying to play a safer run here. And Nick is going to start his Rotten Gauntlet now.
And no RTSR as well, so that might be interesting.
This will be interesting. I'm actually very surprised that neither runner went for early RTSR. Bathy just about to start his Ruined Sentinels fight. Hopefully it's a little less Monka than Nick's. And that long swing attack there from Rotten is the best opener and probably the best attack he can give you.
Yeah, it gives you just basically free hits from the outset, basically.
Bathy's
Very
Sentinel
nice.
fight, very scary, getting,
Ooh.
you got the well, you can't really dodge the one attack there, that's spin to win. And then he strafed a little too far.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
So Bathy got the opening spin to win attack from the second Sentinel, which is can't really punish on it, and it's kind of unavoidable. And then he strafed a little bit too far on that long swing, which causes the third Sentinel to jump down, because the Sentinels fight is really easy, but you do have a time frame on it before it gets a little hectic.
Yeah.
Not a huge time loss for Bathy, however, it's definitely not the worst place to die in the run.
Yeah, it's like 2 minutes or so, a minute and a half. It's not awful, but
The race isn't over yet. There's lots of spots people can lose their run here. Nick, well known for losing all of his runs at Amana, so
yeah. Just wait till Amana basically and see what happens.
it's a decent quick arm again for Nick. Bathy will have to do this fight without resin, just so that he has enough to actually finish the rest of the fights in the run with resin. You could opt out and choose where you want to skip using your resin, but I guess he just decided to use it for this fight.
One more rotten for Nick.
So this should be
Much
a clean
more.
fight for Bathy.
Yeah, much cleaner fight this time.
That was that same attack that he got hit by last fight, so it was literally just strafed a little bit too far to the right and got clipped. Good strafing there from Bathy, though.
That was pretty clean.
So Nick is going to pop his last Bright Bug here, or at least the last of the set that he's bought so far for the Rotten 4 fight, because it is a very tanky boy. See if Bathy opts to do the old Bastille strat, or if he goes for the new one. And he's also going for the old one. So maybe more of a comfort thing for the race. There is potential to die or get memed pretty hard with the new strat.
The rest of the rotten fight should be pretty clean now.
Another fairly clean arm for Nick. It's just a good set of Rottens overall. My time frame on Rotten Gauntlet for this game currently basically is anything under a sub 30 Rotten 4, you're looking pretty good.
Yeah, so Nick's looking pretty good then.
Nick's definitely on a 56 pace right now, around that point. I go for anything under 30, because at a 30 you're usually on about a sub 1 hour pace. That all depending on how good your late game is, of course.
Yeah, I'll hope that Bathy's Rottens go well as well. And now Nick's just popping the souls that he got.
So this will put Nick up to his million so he can get past the Shrine of Winter, and it's also going to give him his final stack of Bright Bugs and all his level ups. Unfortunate for Bathy getting the grab opening. That is the worst attack by far for an opener. Just slow.
Alright, he got the arm.
Overall, still a clean fight for Bathy so far. Minus the bad RNG and the AoE. And this is why Rotten can be such a pain.
Yeah, normally in normal runs you'd be using the red team stun ring at this point, which it increases your damage by 20% when you're below 30% HP. And it's not the biggest damage increase, but for Rotten it's pretty good.
Significant for sure.
But it is a bit risky, because if you get hit once, you will die.
So Nick's making his way to the Shrine of Winter right now.
Yeah, so once you get past the Shrine of Winter, you're basically in the second half of the game.
Yeah, we would consider that definitely the second point. Nick will not be equipping his Seldora ever again for the run because he has every soul he needs at this point. You can get memed at that Shrine of Winter door if your pathing on the way there isn't correct. You get stuck by one of the soldiers at the door, but it doesn't happen too often. It's going to be another arm there, more than likely for Bathy. There it is. And
That's
the
very
puke,
clean.
the late puke for Bathy. You hate to see it.
Yeah. Oh, other than that, that was a pretty clean fight.
Good fight overall. If he could have opened with that puke, I'm sure Bathy would have been a lot happier.
Yeah, so what Nick's gonna do, there's two stone golems near the gate to Draenei Castle, and if you kill an enemy near them, their souls will be basically transported to the golem, and then the door will open. So that's why he's luring the enemies over here.
Nick's also setting up the bow here. Just for some style points.
Yeah, now he's just gonna wait for the door.
And this will be Bathy's fourth Rotten here, so hopefully he gets a decent fight. Ooh. Taking a short swing there. That one can catch you off guard. That's a good arm from Bathy.
Yeah, once you get the cleaver arm off, as long as he does good attacks, the fight's pretty much good.
Yeah, you're pretty solid, unless you get AoE spammed. Bathy not having the best RNG this run. Clean fight, though.
Yeah, both runners having Deathless Rottens, so pretty good.
Bathy gonna make the same pathing and the same way to Shrine of Winter now, so he can make his way to Drang Lake. Nick is on his way to the Double Dragon Riders boss fight, which, if you were a casual player, you would have already seen the first fight. But since we skipped that in this run, we just go right to 2 of them.
Yeah.
So Nick is going to equip his bow here, because when he enters for this Double Dragon Rider boss fight, he needs to shoot the Ranger Dragon Rider to get him to drop down.
Yeah, one of the Dragon Riders has a great bow, and he stands on a ledge and he shoots at you, so... But if you shoot at him, he'll come down, which you basically have to do if you want to kill him.
Makes for a fast kill. I think it's 3 R1s, I believe, or a running R1, and it's very simple
Yeah,
setup for the fight. Dragon Rider can be a little annoying if he just decides to keep his shield up. We'll see what kind of RNG Nick gets here. So shooting the Dragon Rider with the Great Bow, he's going to run around the melee Dragon Rider and just finish this guy off in 3 hits.
Yeah, melee Dragon Rider has quite a bit more health.
And that's a very
yeah.
clean fight for Nick.
Still gets destroyed, basically.
It was actually a really solid fight for no RTSR.
Yeah, no RTSR Dragon Riders can be a bit finicky sometimes.
See that guy at the door there for Bathy that almost memed him as the Falconer soldier I was referring to earlier. That guy can be not a nice guy sometimes. Well,
Yeah,
Nick coming up to another kind of scary point in the run, I guess, which is the mannequins. So, fairly simple, he's going to R1 this guy twice to keep him alive with low health, and he needs to set up this golem statue again. So he's going to hope that the low HP one comes out first, which it didn't. Still safe. So that can be where that gets a little scary. If the full HP mannequin comes out and body blocks the lower one, those guys can just absolutely shred you.
Yeah, and you need to activate the elevator because... you need to activate the golem because that activates an elevator, which you need to take to get a key so that you can go fight the Mirror Knight boss. So, can't really avoid doing that.
Nick going for the style jump. He could just fall off the ledge there from the side, but Nick's all about the style for this run.
Resting at the bonfire as well. So yeah, now he's going to get to enjoy the longest elevator ride in the game.
Yeah. So this is a long segment up this elevator, so most runners will just do what Nick's doing there. So drop their items, resort out their hotbar and their inventory so that it's set up for their late game. You have a lot of time here to set up.
And Bathy making his way into the castle now.
So Nick's good to go for his Mirror Knight fight now. otherwise known as Consistent Knight, because this is probably the most consistent fight in the game, I would say. It's got a specific setup for it. It's not too difficult to do, and it should work every time. It's a damage-based reaction from Mirror Knight.
Yeah, so if he does the fight the same way every time, he'll be able to bait out the same exact attacks.
Never changes. It really is consistent.
It's just dependent on well, your gameplay basically. But it's not random though.
So Nick's gonna run just up until a little crack basically on the floor right here, which is the spot that he's gonna pop his resin. He's gonna bait out an attack from Mirror Knight here, and then do a running R1 followed by 2. And now, as long as he can strafe and hit a certain damage threshold, which I believe is 4 or 5 R1s, Mirror Knight will always do this lightning attack.
So you can just loop him into this till he kills him.
Sometimes at the end, it'll take a second, like right there, and he does a different version of the lightning attack, but just as easy to punish.
Now he's going to enter probably the worst area of this game for speedruns.
So this is
the Shrine of Amana.
definitely the worst area, I think, by popular opinion for this game, which is the Shrine. This was actually a lot worse before a lot of updates and all the tracking got fixed, but if you ever played vanilla or way back in the days, Shrine of Amana, you know how bad it can be. These guys got aimbot. Also got a very low ADP for the speedrun when you enter this point of the game, so you can just get wombo comboed here and you've got no poise to break it.
How much ADP does Nick have?
I believe he's rocking 8 or 12, but I actually did not catch his level ups. Should be around 8 or 12 though, which is not very optimal.
Yeah. Yeah, for some reason they tied the amount of iframes you get from rolls to the ADP stat, which is
Yeah.
not
Dark Souls
something
things.
I like.
So Bathy going for the mannequin setup here as well, and he's gonna hit it, and he's safe. So it's another sketchy part out of the way for Bathy. Nick threw the first set of Archdrakes, which is the easy part of Amana, and this is where it gets for real. So he's gonna wait, and a specific timing when he passes this spear one, he's gonna pop his Radiant. This is going to allow him to continuously regen for a little bit here in case he was to get wombo comboed by the Soul Spears. Bathy also resting, so it should be clean overall for Bathy. On his way to the key and then Consistent Knight. Nick is opting to put on the gear here, which is to help for poise. So basically what that allows you to do is, if you hit the ending fog gate here, and it just allows you to tank a soul spear basically while you're entering the fog wall instead of getting interrupted. So that's actually a pretty cool strat as well. Nick with just a absolutely clean Amana.
Yeah. And no soul spears or anything.
Is going to take this safety bonfire for sure.
Yeah, that was a pretty clean Amana though.
That was very clean, honestly.
Yeah.
I opted for, I think, 1 safety kill there, or 2 safety kills, and that's a fast Amana overall.
Yeah, suffice it to say, things could have gone a lot worse.
We might see that in Bathy's run, no curse, but we will see. Amana's just not a nice place.
And now Nick's gonna fight the Demon of Song.
So Demon of Song is another boss that has a fairly consistent setup if you can do it right. Again, it's all on the player. This is also an extremely scary fight in RTSR because the frog can do the instant jump attack at you and you just die. So sometimes the frog will do 4 attacks there. You'll see Nick every time he R1s him, as soon as he gets his face out, he's hugging his body and sticking towards his legs there. That kind of sets up the rhythm for the frog to not do 4 attacks there and to do 2. Some people choose to roll into the legs. Both ways work.
Baffy accidentally hit Moon Knight's shield.
Bathy did just mess up consistent. And he's recovered. He is good.
Nice.
So he'll get the long swing here, and then he'll be able to punish and finish. So that was a little sketchy from Bathy, but still made it work.
Yeah, and we'll hope that Baffy's mana goes well.
So if Bathy's mana goes well here, there's still some points here where Nick could potentially lose some time. Giant Lord being one of the fights that can be a little sketchy.
Yeah, and front duo as well.
Throne duo very scary. There's also the potential of him missing the bow shot in the crypts. I highly, highly doubt it, but you never know. So Bathy opting to put on the poise gear instantaneously for his shrine run. Not a bad idea. So Nick's going to run through here, and there's this giant, really obnoxious shield guy that he's going to shoot a handful of times. Then he's going to pop his... Oh. Opting to just get max health there. I believe if you do the RTSR route for this fight, you can pop your Bright Bug actually at that door guy and have it last all the way up until the next boss, but for non-RTSR, I think it runs out during the fight, so it's not optimal to do that.
Yeah, so I imagine they're going to grab RTSR when they go to Guardian Dragon.
Yeah, so anytime you run this game, for the most part, if you don't run an early RTSR, you will grab it for Giant Lord and Guardian Dragon. They're just too... I mean, Guardian Dragon is almost needed, in my opinion. It's a setup fight. If you mess it up, you mess it up, but you can basically one-cycle the dragon with it. Without RTSR, that fight is just a big meme. Nick has hit the bow shot perfectly as well, so he is pretty much safe till Velstadt now. Let's see how Bathy's mana goes.
Fingers crossed.
Nick also running right down the middle. Some runners will opt to run down the right side instead of right down the middle like that, but I believe both are safe. So Velstadt is a fairly easy fight if you get the right attacks, but it's a matter of how you set it up. So Nick's going to go for 2 R1s there, and he's looking for a good attack here so he can just absolutely unload all his stamina on him for attacks. Ideally, you want to hit 3 R1s, followed by 2 R1s, and then unload your entire stamina bar. This is so that you can kill him before he gets to buff phase. So that's
Nice.
a perfect fight from Nick. Bathy also getting through a mana. So as long as his frog fight goes well, he is still in this race. Potential for Nick to mess up some things here, so...
Yeah, Nick got the King's Ring, which he needs to open some doors. Which is the reason you have to come kill Velstadt in the first place.
Yeah, that'd be a nice place to avoid. Find us a crypt skip, somebody.
I casually save like, minutes. Just find a way to glitch the King's Ring into your inventory early.
Yes, that would be ideal. Just give us an Aldia skip and a crypt skip so this run can get down to a 40-minute run. Oh, and Nick is going to grab RTSR here as expected. Bathy unfortunately getting the jump back, which is going to cost him a little bit of time. But a clean fight overall.
2 Deathless Manas. Nice.
Oh, Well, Nick is going to set up his RTSR here, so he's going to take damage from this knight while the door opens. Door takes a little while to open while you've got that King's Ring on. So he's going to pop his Bright Bug as well. There is another spot that you can pop the Bright Bug closer to the boss door, but it is slower, I believe. Or it costs you a bit of time at the very least, so...
Yeah, you can set up RTSR with it with the ogre guy before the boss fog gate, but I don't think it's that quick compared to that. In vanilla, that's how you do it though, but
So overall good. Bathy making his way to Crypts now. Nick is going to make his way to Guardian Dragons. So there's a little jump you can do here. It's fairly simple. There's no real lineup for it or anything. You just jump and you're up.
so
So Nick actually opting for the key here. So that's a weapon you pick up, I believe, through Shrine. And a
yeah,
lot of runners will use it for this fight and Giant Lord, and some will use it for the ending fight, so Nashandra. That's really a runner preference. I personally am a rapier guy all the way, but that's why I don't hold any world records.
yeah, this fight can be really bad sometimes, but Nick should be fine here.
Yeah, so Nick will kill him here perfectly. So that setup that Nick did for this fight is a little harder to do, or I guess a little more panic when you try and do it. So, and if you mess that up, that guy can cost you just a ton of time.
Yeah, the first three attacks are really important because you want Guardian Dragon to turn to the right afterwards. But the problem is, so you can finish him off. But if he doesn't, then he can just fly around for minutes basically if he wants to.
He can really kill a run here, especially if you're on a tight world record pace. Even just for sub 1 hour for a lot of new runners, this guy can cost you a lot of your time. So Bathy making his way to Velstad here. He opted to take the right side pathing like I was just talking about. Some people will take the right, some people will run it right down the middle. Doesn't really matter either way. And let's hope Bathy can get some good RNG here. So not the best opening you'd want. He's going to opt for his 3R1s though. Good attack there. And one more good attack for Bathy here. That's perfect. So Velstad's going to buff now, and Bathy should be able to finish him off in his stamina before he gets back up with the buff. Clean fight from Bathy.
I gotta love the zip line.
Nick's going to opt to roll here now because it's a lot faster than that slow walking animation. And just like that, he's at Dragon.
Yeah, so he's come to get the Ashen Mist Heart from Ancient Dragon so that he can activate the Giant Lord fight, which in turn activates the final boss.
So this is another potentially scary area in the game. There is a jump that runners started doing not too long ago, actually fairly recently, at the ending of this area that makes it a little more safe. But these guys, again, with your low ADP and your low health, can just two-hit you. Should be fine for Nick here, but he's gonna have to heal. At least he should heal here to be safe. Knowing Nick, he might just go for it.
Nice healing.
So you definitely want to be full health running through this area. If you do this area the way the game intends you to do it, you actually just fight all of these guys individually. So they're not happy about you just running by. Oh, Nick should jump here. And he actually just goes for the roll.
Ooh.
And that is why that area, without doing the jump now, is always scary. These guys can also meme you. There's a line that they don't cross, but sometimes they cross it. Again, that was a very sketchy from Nick. Definitely could have cost him a death there, but overall good. So Nick's going to throw a skull at the floor here and line up an emote. So he's going to line up with the floor properly and bow. And he didn't have his stuff set up properly there, so he's going to have to kill the knight instead now, or the hollow. If you do the alluring skull setup for this, you've got to be fast on it, or this guy can hit you in the middle of your jump and you're dead.
Yeah, so we call that jump Giant Lord Skip, and what it does, normally you have to run around to open one of the King's Rings doors, but turns out you can just jump instead. Saves quite a bit of time.
And here's the Giant Lord fight. So this fight is also on a timer. It never changes, like the setup is the same, so the fire bombs are going to land at the same time. So Nick kind of slows down his run there so he doesn't get hit by these fire bombs that just landed in front of him. We used to buff behind that other wall, which we call paper wall, and we found that you just die a lot. So there's a new setup there behind that wall that's a lot more safe. I believe you can still get paper wall there, but it's a lot less.
You can still get it, but it's way rarer. Like it's like 1 in 30 or something.
Yeah, so extremely clean fight there from Nick again. Overall, this is a very clean run from Nick.
Was that too early, Dark Sun? I know, he was fine. And now he's gonna go fight the final, do the final boss rush of the game.
Yeah, so Nick's gonna tele back to the Janglik Castle here, and now that we have that King's Ring, this final door will open up for him. And he's on to the last gauntlet of this run, so he's got Throne Watcher and Defender, and then the Nishandra fight. So this is looking like a fairly good paced run for Nick. Definitely a decent-ish run for Bathy, minus all the bad RNG he got. He's been able to keep it together.
Yeah, it was mostly just the start and the death at Sentinels.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much the only times the start really lost Bathy his time here. Other than that start and the death at Sentinels, it's been a fairly good run for Bathy.
Looks like Nick's going for the stamina glitch.
Nick's a wild one.
Yeah, I'm not sure why it works though.
I need to look into it when I start running again. That's all I can say.
Yeah, now it's time for basically the ONS of this game, and even though they put it right at the end, so.
So the setup for this fight for Nick is he's going to walk in and he's going to lock on and pop a old Radiant Life Gem. He's then going to angle his camera all the way down, and you're hoping for the best for spamming a ton of hits there on Defender. Watcher can choose to kind of annoy you like that, and they can both hold their shields up for the entire fight if they want to. So again, this is kind of a fight that you're at the mercy of RNG for. Even if you play it very well, you can just have terrible RNG. Oh.
Oof.
Oh.
Yeah, almost got caught by his defender's grab attack. Alright. Now she's got to deal with Watcher. Hopefully she doesn't block. Jinxed it, man.
Should buff here though, so that'll be a quick finish for Nick. So Nick's gonna apply his last pine resin. So again, when I was bringing up how tight the pine resins are, I wasn't kidding. Holding the start menu so he can instant stop the cutscene and has full stamina when he runs at Nishandra. And let's see if he goes for a one beam.
He walked away to break the beam, got it. And
So Nick gonna play it safe and just go for
a
two beam.
So yeah, you can strafe around Nishandra there, but it's a bit more risky.
And that's a clean kill for Nick, and that is the end of his run.
Deathless run, actually, I think.
I believe so.
Very-
Yeah, that was a solid
yes.
run from Nick.
It was very clean.
So
Maybe sub 57.
his timer is going to stop as soon as the black screen hits. So I believe it'll be a 49. No, so it would have been 56, 47 for Nick.
Yeah, very, very, very nice run.
A very, very solid run. And that is no RTSR as well, so that's a very impressive run. And we'll follow up with Bathy now. So Bathy's just starting his Giant Lord fight. Let's see if Bathy can pull together like a 101 or something here. With a good fight. Ooh.
I was about to say not going for RTSR, but he got the setup.
Does he not have RTSR equipped?
No, he doesn't have it equipped.
So
Looks like he's not gonna go for it.
the craziest RTSR setup I've ever seen. Bathy just invented. All right. Bathy did have RTSR for the dragon fight, did he not?
Yeah, he did, I think.
So I guess just playing this fight safe, opting out on just popping it before he started the fight. I guess he wasn't expecting that that hit. And Bathy's going to make his way to the final fights for his as well. And Bathy's still on pace here to get like a 101 or a 102. So that's it's not a bad run by any means.
Yeah, pretty solid.
A lot of the runners on this game right now that aren't in the top, 5 or 10 are really just striving for sub 1 hours. So it's a fairly solid run overall.
Yeah, for no reset, sub 1 is definitely a really good goal.
Absolutely. If you're going for a top 10 or a top 15 run on this game nowadays, you're looking for a 57 or lower.
Yeah, and you saw Baffy did a little jump there, so because life gems don't activate unless when you're at full HP, so he wants to get his health down a bit so he can use the life gem at the start of the fight.
Bathy looking at a 101. Yeah, he's got potential here. I think Bathy said as long as it wasn't a 107, he'd be all right with it. So I see Bathy opting for a kind of a different lineup on his way in there. Very, very good defender kill though.
Yeah, that was basically a perfect defender.
It was extremely clean. And we got the wonky animation to watch as well.
Classic watcher block though. That was a very clean fight.
Very clean fight.
And he's got a pine resin left over.
Bathy looking on pace for a low 101 here.
I'm not getting the beam. It's pretty bad. Okay. I got it now. Probably gonna go for 2 beam, I'd imagine. Yeah. Nash is not being nice though today. Oh, he's gonna have to go for a third one.
And that will be Bathy's run. Not the best RNG, but he closed it out with the bad RNG that he had to work with.
Yeah, so we sub 102.
That'll definitely, it should be a 101.47, I believe.
Yeah.
46. So still very solid run from Bathy.
So yeah, it was a pretty interesting race. Pretty clean runs from both runners, but Bathy obviously got a bit unlucky in the early game, unfortunately. Died to Sentinels. But other than that, it was a pretty good run.
Overall, good run for both of them, I would say.
Yeah, exactly.
Very solid run from Nick, and Bathy made it work for what he had to deal with in the early game.
Hey guys.
That was
Hey.
that was a run.
Yeah.
GG on the runs.
GG's.
Yeah, GG Nick. Very
GG,
good time.
Bethy. How was your run, Bethy?
Oh, it is awful.
What
It
happened?
sucked.
Well, it wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that bad, Bathy. You had some
Yeah.
bad
What
RNG, but
happened?
you made it work, man.
Oh, in the start, it took me 30 seconds. I wasted 30 seconds doing the bomb wall, and then the bomb didn't explode.
Oh.
So I took the run through. And then
Yeah.
I died to the
A
Sentinel.
Sentinel's death, though. You got that spin to
Oh.
win attack off the bat, and then strafed a little too far
Yeah.
on the second attack. That was rough.
But overall, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm happy with it.
It wasn't a 107, right, Bathy?
No, it wasn't a 107. That's good. And I would have needed a PB to beat Nick anyway, so I'm not too torn up about that.
That's a very solid run, Nick.
Yeah, it was a
Thanks.
very good run.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's really good.
dude. At the start, I was super nervous, but then when I reached Los Bastiu, I was like, yeah, man, nothing can go wrong. I'm already on pace, and then I entered Sentinels, and I took one hit, and I was like, yeah, man, no, under control. It's everything okay. And then I was like with 10 HP, and then the Sentinels prepared the spin tree, and I was like, yep, I'm dead. But I managed to dodge with 3 HP. Thanks
Nice.
God.
Yeah, now you get to skip the losers bracket of death.
Yep.
Yeah, thanks God I'm skipping Jeff because in our history I am in a win streak and I don't want to lose this win streak, so I don't want to face Jeff.
Jeff's next run's gonna be a redemption run for his last one, anyways. I'd be scared to go against
Mhm.
that too.
Yeah, honestly, I was thinking like, oh, past week I was, oh my God, if I win against Beffy, I will face Pseudo, and if I lose to Beth, I will face Jeff. This is the end. There I will have to practice like 20 hours per day to keep the pace. But then Zarella
Yeah.
Zarella won the match, and then yeah, a mix of feelings. But GG's Beffy. What
GG,
happened
Nick.
in the first run? You missed the dark sign?
Yeah, I took an extra swing, and then I went for the dark
Oh,
sign and
I
lost on
see.
myself. Yeah.
Oof.
Thanks for resetting though.
No worries, man.
Yeah.
No worries. There's no way to race without those souls, so
No. No.
yeah. So it is the minimum that I could do is resetting the run.
Good sportsmanship
Yeah,
on your
thanks, dude.
part, Nick.
Thanks, but yeah. Um, GG's, Bethy.
Yeah, GG.
I hope that you keep running any percent because like I was thinking during the run like, oh my God, dude, like this tournament will win and then the players will not like the new players will not keep playing any percent. I hope that you guys enjoy any percent and keep practicing.
I'll probably keep at it for a while.
Yeah.
Who knows, Nick? Maybe he'll beat Jeff and you'll meet him again
Yeah.
at the end of the tournament.
Coming out through losers. Beat Jeff, beat Pseudo.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah. Just imagine.
All right. I think with that, we're going to end the stream here. Bit shorter this week since we had to postpone one of the runs. But that means we'll have more runs coming next week. So stay tuned for the days for that. We'll likely have one run on Friday.
One more
And
thing,
then
eu quero agradecer o pessoal que me assistiu. Agradeço do fundo do meu coração. Amo todos vocês. That's it, guys. Thank you so much for this last words.
I had no idea what I meant. But,
I'm sure it was
yeah,
something nice.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, so we're gonna end the stream here. Stay tuned for we will have one run coming up on Friday, and then we have two more on each of Saturday and Sunday. So stay